Okay, 56 is one of these questions. It's not a, oops, not a standard question like we've been doing so far. So let's just try to apply the concepts we've learned and see what we can get. Find a and b so that this function has a local maximum. So a and b are constants, and I know that y equals ax e to the negative bx um, has a max at 210. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means if I plug in 10 and I plug in 2 for x, 2a e to the negative b times 2, that is a true statement, right? So let's do this. 10 equals 2a e to the negative 2b. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of keep track of that. And I know that if I've got an equation that has a's and b's in it, that, or one equation with two variables, that I need a second equation with two variables to be able to solve it. So where could I come up with another equation? What do you think? See, I'm giving you wait time. Well, since this is a maximum, that means if I take the derivative, that's a critical point. Right? Good job. So I get y prime equals, I'm going to do first, ax times the derivative second, e to the negative bx times negative b plus a second times the derivative of the first. Okay, so I get y prime equals negative abx e to the negative bx plus ae to the negative bx. And I want to set that equal to 0 because I'm trying to find the critical points. So if I do that, well, actually, how about this? If I just plug in, let me just see, I'm just figuring this out as I go too, so I want you to see how I'm thinking. If I plug in 2 in for x, what should I get? Well, if this is a maximum, if this is a critical point, I'd better get 0, right? So let's try that. Negative ab times 2 e to the negative 2b plus ae to the negative 2b. I should get 0 out of that. Alright? So now, let's go ahead and do things like this. E to the negative 2b, if I factor that out, and I factor an a out, then I get negative b times 2 plus 1 equals 0. So did I do that right? Let's check this out and see. This would get, if I multiply this times this, I get negative ab times 2 times that, and that times that gives me ae. Okay, good. So now for both of these to be 0, or for this to be 0, one or the other has to be 0. So either a e to the negative 2b equals 0, or negative 2b plus 1 equals 0. So this tells me that a is 0. But if a is 0, the original equation is y equals 0. Okay? And that's just a horizontal line, so it can't have a maximum at 210. So that's not an option. And this tells me that negative 2b is negative 1. So b would be 1/2. Okay, that's good. And then I plug that into up here to solve for a. So then I get, so 10 equals 2a e to the negative 2 times 1/2. So 10 equals 2a e to the negative 1. So that's over e, right? So that tells me that a, the equals 10e divided by 2, which is 5e. So here's my point. 5e 1 half. I'm sorry, not my point. This is my values for A. A is 5e and B equals 1 half. Those two values make this equation have a maximum at 210. Okay, and I know it's a max and not a min because there's only one extreme value, so it'd have to be a maximum. Otherwise, I would not be able to do this problem. Right? Okay. There we go. We'll do number 10 in the last video, or number 70.